Well, you don't need me to remind you that Formula One is now so beloved in the United States that we race here 3 times a year. But let's give respect to COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, to give it its full name. This place laid the foundations for this moment and still remains the host of the US Grand Prix. We're racing then today in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of this wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles per hour here today, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into Turn 1 and the long back straight into Turn 12. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, Albon, Magnussen, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, Iceman, Sonoda, Ricciardo, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Alongside me here in the commentary box today, former racing driver extraordinaire Naomi Schiff. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Well, the race is certainly not won in the first lap, let alone turn 1. However, what you can do is prepare yourself ahead of time. Visualize what could potentially happen, different scenarios and where you could place your car. And that will better prepare you to make the right decision with instinctive timing.
Back of the grid, not great, I know, but let's just try and use the first lap to push your way up the order. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. Okay, mate, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go. Yes, mate, we hit the target. Nice work. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Nice one. Very lovely drive. On to the next one.
Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
That's it then for another magnificent United States Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today.
Yes, it absolutely was, and what an incredible victory and an important milestone for them as we head into the business end of the season. You know that that's really going to matter from a confidence perspective to get them to the end of the season with potentially even more of these victories.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.